Today we're going to take a quick look at the Kershaw Federalist. Give you a look at it open. It's a very good looking knife. Clip point, made in USA. You see it's got the United States flag on it. This is in CPM 154, which is a tougher steel than 154 CM. It's the particle metal version of 154 CM. Same edge holding, but you'll get a greater toughness. There you can see Kershaw. They did a nice job with the pivot. Got a little bit fancier pivot. Beautiful canvas micarta scales. Put together really nice. Half stop and fully closed. Centering is perfection. Half stop, full stop. Let me bring it up by the microphone. So you may be wondering at this point, it doesn't sound like a normal slip joint. That's because it has no back spring. It works off of detents. It has a triple detent, one detent to hold it closed, one to hold it in half stop, and one to hold it all the way open. So it uses a more modern technique instead of a spring of making an old-fashioned slip joint. Blade shape, like I said before, blade shape is incredible. I love this blade. Now, this knife is sold. I have to pack it up and ship it out. That should tell you what I think of it. And why is that? That detent that holds it open is not that strong. That could very easily close on your finger. Now, when I use a slip joint, even if I'm punching into something, I'm punching in and pushing forward at the same time. I'm always applying pressure so that the knife will not close on me, and I've never had an issue with it. But I've come to appreciate knives like this. This may not take much more effort to close than the Federalist, but it's got that kick. It's never going to go anywhere. It's never going to get your finger. It's a much safer knife. I'd rather carry and use this knife that I paid $12 for than this Federalist. And that's why I sold it. In addition to that beautiful clip point, it's nice thin stock, full flat ground, comes down decently thin behind the edge. Very good slicer. Really nice knife. I want a slip joint. I don't want a knife with detents. It's that simple. And I also, like I said, really appreciate the kick. Now, let's take a look at the blade length. You have about 3 1/4 inches of cutting edge, and your cutting edge starts at about the same point as where the scales start. So if you have any blade laws to meet, you're definitely going to get the 3 1/4 inch blade without violating 3 1/2 inch blade laws, which we used to have in West Virginia, but that's been repealed because the whole definition of what a weapon is has changed, letting us carry pretty much anything we want now. So that's a quick look at the Kershaw Federalist. Great knife, great materials, great build, great execution. But in my opinion, I can't get past the detent instead of your traditional spring and the lack of a kick. If I want a traditional knife, I want a traditional knife. Now, on the other hand, I do have some modern traditionals. Knives like this Lion Steel still has springs. It has a completely modern construction. Okay, it's very different than a true traditional, but it still holds on to those elements of a traditional that are important. This knife also doesn't have much of a kick, which I don't like, but it takes a lot more pressure to close, so it's not that bad. We have the Ohio River Jacks, where your liner and bolster are one piece. They're integrated. Still have a nice back spring, beautiful construction. You have modern cover material. Again, not much of a kick, but very, very stiff. So not too bad. My favorite ones have been, in the moderns, these Jack Wolves. I only have a couple of them because they're on the pricey side. These do have a kick. These give you the advantages of having a kick, plus having a really, really strong spring. Modern blade steel, S90V. Very thin behind the cutting edge. Just an excellent knife. These have been my favorite traditionals to carry. And the slip there is from Erica's EDC. We also have the Lake Champlain Jack. This one's in the sheep's foot. You gain a little bit of a kick, but again, very, very stout. M390, nice and thin behind the edge, hollow ground. Very sturdy, very slicey knife. Excellent. You can hear the difference when you close these. Even this Baron Son, large Barlow. You've got a little bit of a kick there. Nice knife. Needs some modifications when you first get it. And I am going to have to do a regrind on that blade. Look how thick that is behind the edge. So anyway, back to the Federalist. Like I said, great knife. But I don't like the detent. I don't like how easily it closes, combined with no kick. For me, that's a no-go on this otherwise excellent knife. We'll see you on the next one.